Good morning, dear students. Today is 22nd August 2026. I am your math teacher Sandeep Rajput. We are studying NCERT Class 8 Math Part 1. Till now, we have completed first 4 chapter of the book. If you want to learn those chapters, you can watch my previous videos from this YouTube channel. Now, we are discussing the 5th chapter, that is numbers play. What we have discussed in the previous class, that we will have a revision, then we will move ahead in this chapter. Now what we were discussing some statements which are always true, or which are sometimes true, and which are never true. And what we have discussed, that if if a divides m and a divides n, then a also divides m plus minus n, and this is the case of always true. This is the case of always true. Understood? We will see an example. Let's take the example of 6. Suppose 6 divides 18 and 6 divides 24. Then we can see that 18 plus 24 is your 42, and that is divisible by 6. Understood? 42 is divisible by 6, and in case of the difference, let's use this 24 as a bigger one. 24 minus 18, or you can use in this way also, as we have written 18 minus 24, we got the result minus 6, and this minus 6 is also divisible by 6, and in this case our answer will be minus 1. So we have concluded that this statement is always true. Understood? This statement is always true. If a divides m and a divides n, then a also divides m plus n, and a also divide m minus n. Now we will see the next statement and its example. Now see, 8 divides 48. Understood? 8 divides 48. And if we split this into two sum, that is 32 plus 16. What we conclude, that 8 also divides 32 and also divides 16, and the result is 4, and result is 2. Right? So in general statement, if we say that if a divides A divides M. Understood? Then A also divides N and O, where N plus O is equal to N. Understood? Now, can you understand this statement that A divides M, then A also divides M plus N, where N plus O is equal to M. That we have seen the case that if our A is 8 and our M is 48 and N is 32 and O is 16, then in this case our result is valid. Understood? But is this statement is always true? No, because N plus O can also be any number, that is 45 plus 3. Understood? That is also 48, and which is M. So what we have concluded that this statement is true but sometimes. This statement is true but sometimes, not always. Understood? And never is also not applicable because it exists. But this statement is true sometimes. So you have to remember this statement. Understood? Now how you can split? Let's discuss. Let's take the same example, 8. We have taken the 8 and it divides 48. Now when if you separate 8 from here, what result you will get? 8 into 6. Understood? Now you represent 6 as the sum of any two number. Understood? If you represent the 6 as sum of any two number, then what the statement we have written, that is applicable, means 8 into 1 plus 5, 8 into 2 plus 4, 8 into 3 plus 3. These are the possibilities. Now all in these case, whatever the numbers come, 8 is 24 plus 8 is 24, they are divisible by 8. So this is the only possible conditions when the condition we have discussed will be true, and that's why this is the case of sometimes. Understood? Now we will see the next. Excuse me. Now see, if 7 divides 49. Understood? If 7 divides 49, then, or we can say 14. Understood? Now any multiple of 14, any multiple of 14 is perfectly divisible by 7. Any multiple of 14, you can see 28. Understood? You can see 42. Understood? You can see 56, and any multiple of 14. Any multiple of 14 is divisible by 7. And let's write the general statement of this. If A divides say M, where M is equal to We can write here NA. Understood? Where M is equal to NA, then all multiple of M, that is NA, is divisible by A. That you have understood from the statement only. When M is equal to NA, then A is perfectly divide the NA. And this statement is always true. And this statement is always true. Understood? We have taken the case of 7 and multiple of 14. Now see, if 36 is divisible by 36 is divisible by 12. Understood? If 36 is divisible by 12, then all the factors of the 12 will divide 36 exactly. What are the factors of 12? 6, 2, 4, 3. Understood? And 12. So if we now see, these all the factors of 12 divides 36 exactly, and this is the condition which is always true. This is the condition which is always true. Understood? And that, if what is the general statement of this example? If A is divisible by K, understood, then all the then A is also divisible by factors of K. Understood? And this statement is always true. Now we will see. Suppose we have number 36. We have number 36, and this number is divisible by 9, and this number is also divisible by 4. Understood? So if we multiply this number 9 into 4, that is 36. So this number is also divisible by 36 exactly, and are all the multiple of 36 are divisible by these two numbers. And this is the case which is always correct. What they have said that if a number is divisible by 9 and 4, understood, a number is a particular number which is divisible by 9 and 4, in that case that number is also divisible by LCM of both number. What does it mean? That that number is also divisible by 36 in this particular case, understood. And in general, if we convert this sentence in general, if a number is divisible by m and the number is also divisible by n, then that number is also divisible by the LCM of m and n, understood. If a number is divisible by m and n, that number is definitely divisible by the LCM of m and n. We will see an example, and this is the case which is always true. This is the case which is always true. We can see that. Now see, if we have number, we have number 12, understood, and this number is divisible by 2, and this number is divisible by 3, understood. This number is divisible by 3. So what is the LCM of these two numbers? LCM of 2 and 3 is 6. So this number is must be divisible by 6, and that we know. This is the example. So the fact which we have discussed is always true. That fact is always true. Understood? Now we will discuss the another fact, which is the last fact of this class. What is that? The sum of the multiple of 2 and 3 is also divisible by 6. Understood? The statement is that when we add an odd number and even number, we get a multiple of 6. The statement is that when we add an odd and even number. Understood? We get multiple of 6. We'll check this statement. Now what this statement is saying, that an odd number and an even number. Understood? Suppose we'll see. Now see, 2n is even and 2n plus 1 is odd. Let's add these two numbers, 2n plus 2n plus 1. What is the result? 4n plus 1. Understood? Now this result is even. Plus 1 is always odd. Understood? And a number which is multiple of 6, we have to check this. A number which is multiple of 6 will be 6m, we can say that. Understood? 6m means it is multiple of 6 and no any, and this number is always even. What we have discussed, that 6m is always even. 6m is always even, but this result is an odd. An odd and even cannot be equal. So this statement is, this cannot be true. This is the never statement. Understood? Class, in today's class we have discussed the few statements and what is their possibility, whether they are always true, whether they are sometimes true, whether they are never true. Understood? That is what we have discussed in this chapter. Tomorrow we will study the further part of our chapter. Till now, this is all about for today's class. Revision, revise what we have studied today, and also watch the previous videos of the also watch the previous videos to revise your first 4 chapters, and take care of yourself. Thank you very much.